hope you guys have been enjoying curriculum week so far. Today I'm sharing the independent subjects for my 10th grade daughter, and earlier this week on Monday I shared our family curriculum choices video. So make sure you watch that one if you haven't seen it yet, because that will give you a full picture of what 10th grade will look like for her academically this year. A lot of these things are independent for her. As we move toward high school, we get a lot more independent, although I am regularly checking work. However, there are a few things that she'll be doing with her 8th grade brother as well with me, so I'm sharing all of that today. So if you have enjoyed curriculum week so far, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. And if you have curriculum choices that you are really enjoying in high school, leave those in the comments down below, because I feel like there's just not a ton of information out there for high school homeschooling families, and there is so much more than just what I'm sharing here today. So make sure that you help another mom out and share some recommendations in the comments down below. All right, here is what I have on the agenda for her this upcoming
Here are Isabella's 10th grade curriculum choices. And as I mentioned, make sure you check out the family subjects video so you know like all the rest of what's going on for her. Anything in that family subjects video, like the geography and the history, there are also additional reading assignments that I give my older kids to kind of pull that toward grade level, because I do have to keep lessons much shorter for the younger kids. So like the geography and the history, they also have assigned reading to go along with that, but I just don't have it all here to show. So we're gonna start with language arts. She's gonna do Fix It Grammar, book 3, Spelling Wisdom, book 4. There is no, so we've been using since 3rd grade, Using Language Well and Spelling Wisdom for each of my kids. After Using Language Well, level 3, the last 2 books have not been completed yet. So those are not in queue to be completed anytime soon. But that's okay. So we're going to continue with Spelling Wisdom as her spelling, and then we're going to use Fix It Grammar. There was a little debate going on in the comments of my Rainbow Resource Haul when I showed the books that I purchased. A lot of people said start with level 1. A lot of people said start wherever you feel like their placement is. I looked through all the books and I felt like because she has done Using Language Well since 3rd grade, starting with level 1 was just not the right place for her. So I'm starting her with level 3, and she still may fly through this. A lot of this is just gonna be like practice, which is good. I love the idea of extra practice. But I think that it likely won't take us the whole year, so potentially level 4 as well. She also will be doing Redefining Schools High School C.S. Lewis study, and that is where most of her writing will come in this year. Okay, I had to pull it up to remember exactly how the plan is. So quarter 1, they're doing Screwtape Letters, Persuasive Writing. Quarter 2, they're doing The Great Divorce and Literary Analysis Writing. Quarter 3, they're doing Mere Christianity and Research Writing. And quarter 4, they're doing C.S. Lewis, and narrative. They're doing a C.S. Lewis novel of choice and narrative writing and poetry. So that is going to be a full high school English credit, according to the way that that course is designed this year. So in addition to that, we're doing Fix It Grammar and Spelling Wisdom, but I'm not even giving her many writing assignments beyond our written narrations this year. We'll still work through cleaning up some of her written narrations to create essays based on that, but not as much as I would if she weren't taking that class. So my favorite resource to recommend when it comes to high school writing is Know and Tell by Karen Glass. I read it every summer. I'm actually right in the middle of it, a reread of it right now. Moving on, science. She's doing Exploring Creation with Chemistry this year, and I got the lab kit from Nature's Workshop Plus, of course. These lab kits are like my favorite thing ever. So yeah, she's got the notebook, the tests in here, and the textbook as well. She is still finishing up the economics credit from last year, and then we're going to move into government. So she is using the Uncle Eric's government package this year. We liked the Uncle Eric's economic package, and a couple of those resources we'll actually pull in to use for this as well. She's also going to be doing intermediate logic we had a slow start with the intro to logic, and then all of a sudden it just clicked for both of us with how it was set up. And she actually really loved it. She told me the other day that it's one of her favorite resources that we've ever used in school. So I'm excited for her to move on to intermediate logic, and then we use the video lessons for this as well. Side note, I forgot to put any paperwork on the table to share this, but she's also doing teaching textbooks. So I just didn't have anything to show for that. But yes, her math this year is teaching textbooks. One more thing, as I was editing, I realized that I completely forgot to include Plutarch, Life of Julius Caesar. This is one that my older two will be doing together this year with me once a week and with the video lessons. When her and my son finish Life in the Word together, this was something we did together a couple times a month. Then they are both moving on to Growth in the Word. These are really great Bible study resources. It teaches you how to do various types of Bible study. So doctrine study, narrative study, compare and contrast study, character study, praying through scripture, book study, text marking. And like in Life in the Word, they did things like book study, word study, topical study, doctrine study, character, narrative, inductive study. So it's really cool tools for Bible study. And then we also have been going through this book slowly but surely. This is nothing that I'm wanting to rush through. I'm wanting them to really grasp the concepts in here. So this is kind of something that will just always be open as each kid kind of moves into middle school. They'll just pick up with us where we are. And then YWAM books are also something that they regularly read and write me book reports on once they are in 6th grade. So she will continue on. We have so many, too many to count. So we always have YWAM books all over our house. I just think that the Christian heroes as well as the heroes of history books, they're really great characters to just kind of have tools in their toolbox, so to speak. People that I want them to be considering, achievements that are important, just some good heroes of the faith and heroes of history that I want them to be familiar with and make the acquaintance of. And so spending a month or two with each individual one, I've always felt like has given them a really great, well-rounded perspective on things. And because it is election season, it's kind of funny. We were talking about something the other day, and we kind of mentioned one of the former presidents, and she just came out with all this information, and she just held her own in the conversation with the adults. And she actually read about that person probably 2 years ago. So I know that it's in there. It's getting in there and it's sticking. So those are her independent subjects this year. Coupled with her family subjects, it makes her complete course load. In addition to that, I just wanted to mention things that I kind of consider to be part of their school. And I try to consider when I'm making choices for her. Family subjects and assigned reading. We have a lot of assigned reading. C.S. Lewis study, I mentioned that. But she's also on the varsity cheer squad. And she is the coach or assistant to the coach, not the assistant coach, but she's assisting the coach. I think they're calling her like a team lead for the little JV girls. So she's got to be at all the practices and the JV and varsity games, which works out because Jessie's on the JV team. She's also a competitive dancer. This year she has maybe one less dance than she did last year competitively, which is refreshing in a sense, but then she's also kind of got her eye on the prize as far as looking ahead at schools right now, and so she wanted to take a couple of recreational classes to go along with that, just so she's well versed in different styles that she hasn't practiced in a few years. And then to tie these both together, she and my other daughter have a private tumbling coach. So she's very busy in the afternoons. She's keeping violin for now. We actually took our first break in years of violin, and we're heading back in the fall to it. She just took the last couple months off for the summer. And then she works at a local ministry one morning per week as an actual job. She gets paid, but it's a really great environment, and I couldn't ask for a better first official job for her. But I have to factor all these things into her course load and how I choose what we're doing and the days that we're doing things and all of that. So This is usually where we start, and then we build around it based on how many days per week she has. So for example, typically the Apologia Sciences are 5 days a week, but we can't do that because she doesn't have 5 full days a week. So we have to make a plan based on that. So yeah, so that's all I have to say about that, but those are her, that's her plan for this upcoming school year, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another video.